and welcome to today's daily live stream. So I thought I would follow on from yesterday where we talked about intention and the importance of whatever you're doing, whether it's something super productive or whether it's just chilling out, that when we set clear intention about what we are doing, not only does it give us permission to do things that we might believe that other people might frown upon, or things that we, even ourselves, we might have beliefs around, I maybe should be more productive instead of sitting watching Netflix and eating crisps or drinking wine. So when we when we set clear intentions to do something, we inadvertently give ourselves permission to do that. And I think that's really healthy and helpful, especially in this current climate where there's a lot of talk about, people making the best of this time that they've got and learning a new skill, etc., etc. I think also what happens, I know that what happens when we set clear intentions, and we did touch on this yesterday, is that we then start to take certain actions and carry out certain behaviours that line up with that intention. So we set the intention, and that's nice and clear. So already our head or our mind is in that place of, how do I get there? You're in creative mode. And so when we're in that kind of open, expansive, creative place, then we start to look for and find and attract the very things that we need to create the intention that we desire. So that's really what I wanted to focus on a little bit today, was just looking at the energetics behind that. And as I said in yesterday's live stream, if you want to know more about the energy behind anything that we do, the energy behind illness, the energy with everything, even this coronavirus, then please let me know, and I can do a separate piece on that. It's what I do, it's what I live, it's what I breathe, it's what I teach, it's what I practice in my client work. So I'm more than happy to do that. Hi Richard, great to have you here. And Angela as well, fab to have you here too, Angela. So when we set an intention, our head or our mind is already in that place, because it's here, it's where we're thinking. So the thought process is that we're in whatever it is or wherever it is that we want to get to. And so when we set that, our energy, because remember, I can't remember if it was yesterday or the day before, we spoke about where attention goes, energy flows. So your attention is on your intention. So with your attention on your intention, then your energy flows where attention goes. So the kind of sciencey piece behind that, so that's the energetic piece. The science piece behind that is that when the brain has hardwired itself to your intention, then it starts to open up to look for possibilities, to look for opportunities, to look for solutions to creating the intention. So when your intention has been set and is clear for whatever task or whatever it is that you're doing in your life, then your brain starts to look for what it needs to get you there. And that's a very, very different process from just getting up in the morning and just doing what you do. So even if you get up in the morning and you're just going to have a laid back day, setting that intention just creates a completely different energetic vibe around what you're doing, and it also creates a different kind of neural response to what is happening as well, and what you're likely to seek out as a result of setting the intention. So let me know if that is making sense to you, because that's a really super short summary of two very different and year-long programs of learning. So let me know if that makes sense. The energetics behind setting the intention, so that when your attention, wherever your attention goes, is where your energy flows. So when you set the intention, then on an energetic level, you're lining up with that. And then from a more scientific perspective, what's happening is the mind is opening up the doors of solution and possibility and probability. And that's why when we come at a problem from a position of solution focus, that it's much easier to solve a problem. So if we're looking at a problem and we're going straight into, oh, I can't do that, I can't understand how that would work, I can't see how I could make that happen, the brain is actually starting to shut down, and or the doors, that's how I like to describe it. So the doors, the creative doors in the brain are shutting down because you can't see a solution, you don't understand how it's going to work, it's nobody you've ever known has managed that before. Whereas if you come at the same problem with a solution focus and you're thinking, right, how can I make that work? How can I make that happen? And then what happens there is all the doors in the brain open and they start looking for solutions, and they start looking for situations where somebody else might have solved this problem that you might not know about or have never heard about. And that's when you'll find that when the brain starts to open in that way, that you start to not only open up to the possibility and the potentiality of solving the problem, but you then open up to receiving information in whatever form, whether it's a person, an email, or a scrolling on Facebook and something pops out. But that's because the brain is then actively looking to receive the solution to the problem that you are trying to solve. So let me know if you're staying with me, because that's kind of digressed a little bit from what I'd wanted to speak about today. But as I say often, nothing stands alone, does it? I mean, everything is so interrelated, and that's what I really love about my work, because although it's nearly 20 years ago that I started as an energy practitioner, and I've done so many other things since then, and also things before then, but actually they just all dovetail. It's just the same end game. It's just a slightly different approach to getting there. So Angela's saying a lovely hi, a hi back to you. And Christine saying hello, everyone. Hello to you too, my lovely. And Angela's saying that's a very good explanation. Goody, goody. And Bernadette has joined us as well. Great to have you here, Bernadette. Well, I'm glad that's making sense. And the topic of today was really following on from intention. So I'm really interested to see if any of you set intentions yesterday or set intentions today. And if you did, let me know, and let me know how you got on with them. And also let me know if there's any sticky bits, because there will be a reason if there has been a sticking point. And if you want us to drill down on it here in the live, I'm happy to do that. So use me, I'm here. you may as well use me, because I'm here and I'm happy to help in that way. So let me know if that is helpful to you. So whilst you're deciding whether you want to do that or not, I'll just talk about my experience with intention yesterday. And remember, this is my stuff. I'm used to doing this, but I sometimes fall away from it. Sometimes I need to be doing something like this to remind me of the importance of setting really, really clear intentions. And I do have a kind of morning practice that I do, and I think I referred to that yesterday. But I'm writing about that in my newsletter today, because my morning practice has been a bit, I don't know what the word is, not quite ad hoc, because it's still there, but it's not quite what it normally is, because of all the restrictions, because of the fact that I don't have the same quiet space to work in every morning. So that's all impacting. And what I got really clear on yesterday was that I needed to change my intention. My intention in the morning had kind of been set, but not really set right in. So when I finished the live yesterday, I spent some time realigning with my intention. And that's really the point that I wanted to make for MD, that I'd set an intention and got to the end of the day and thought, what was the point in that? I wanted to do this and I ended up doing that. Sometimes there's a reason for doing that, but sometimes it's just because we come out of alignment with our intention. Because remember, energy goes where energy flows where attention goes. So if you're focused on your intention, then that's where your energy goes. But if you get derailed from that for any reason, then your attention is going somewhere else, so your energy will flow somewhere else. And that's why when we get derailed, that's really what's happening. So I ended up realigning with my intention after our Facebook Live yesterday, because I had set it in the morning, but I wasn't really 100% behind it, because it was a really busy day and I had a lot of client work to fit in and some emergencies and things like that. So it was quite a full-on morning. It was a full-on day, but I did get time in the afternoon to realign with my intention. And what I discovered was that I'd wanted to do 3 very specific things, quite big things, and I wanted to get them done, and I really wasn't on a timeline to get them completed by the end of yesterday. That just, by lunchtime, that kind of wasn't going to be happening. But once I realigned with my intention and got fully behind that and came at it with that solution focused thinking, it's like, how can I get these 3 things done today? How am I going to fit these in the last few hours of the day? So I prioritized which were the most important. I mean, they were all important, but I prioritized in which order to do them. And then I set a timer and I got my phone out and I just put in, like, half an hour. You got half an hour to do this. Set the button, go, see how far I get. And I got all 3 tasks done. One of the tasks was a bit trickier than I thought it would be, and I kind of had to. Well, it's not that I had to give up. That's not quite right. I chose to stop. I'd worked beyond my kind of normal work time. I'd actually worked into the evening to get it finished, and it was getting late and I was getting tired, and I already had a class that evening. So I just made the decision. I've done as much as I can and I'm happy with that. I'm going to let the last bit of it go. So when you realign with your intention, then that really helps to kind of line up. It's like kind of having all your ducks in a row. So, here's your intention and you're right behind that. And so you're lining up all your ducks ready to go. And as I said before, the scientific, what on earth? The scientific piece around that is that the brain starts to look for the possibilities and the opportunities to help you get there. So that was really all that I wanted to say today. So I'm just going to have a wee look at what's come in here. So Christine, you're saying, I find that my intention gets lost amidst trying to get all the things done that I need to do, go into rush and panic and lose my groundedness. Could do with help with this. Brilliant, Christine. So really what you've said there was my experience yesterday too, but I'm going to drill down on that a bit more specifically for you, just so that it's super helpful for you. And Angela is saying to Christine, same here. And Christine saying, I thought I was the only one. No, not at all, not at all. And do you know what I love about doing this work? And I'm always very, very clear. And if you haven't had the opportunity to hear this directly from me before, I'll say it again. I'm always very honest in how my experiences are, because I think sometimes when you're working with therapists and practitioners and teachers and trainers, it's so easy to put them up on a pedestal and think that they've got it easy and that they can do it with great ease. But we're just human as well. And so what you've described there, Christine, was exactly how my day went yesterday. And despite being up and kind of into work like really early, I still was 2 hours behind at 12 o'clock. So I got to lunchtime and I was like 2 hours behind on my schedule. And I was like, 2 hours behind and I still haven't got these 3 major tasks done. So you're absolutely not alone. So what I'm going to share here is actually what I'd planned to drill down on Thursday, because the newsletter is just about ready to go. I just needed to finish it, or I wanted to change a bit at the end. So that will be going out later today, and we'll drill down on that on Thursday. And it's really looking at getting into your kind of morning routine. But I'll cover that here as well. But we'll drill down a little bit more on Thursday. So I think it'd be helpful for you to be here on Thursday, or at least catch the replay on Thursday, because we'll look at that in its kind of entirety. For you as a complete system to being grounded and staying on track. But in terms of just responding to what you're saying here, so there's a few different things there. So your attention gets lost trying to get all the things done that you need to get done. So the first thing that I would be saying to you there, Christine, and to you, Angela, and to anybody else, like I did yesterday, look at your list. Do you have to do everything that's on it? So one of the things that I find really helpful is to do what I call a brain dump. So you just get a sheet of paper and you dump out everything on your brain, everything that you need to do, and you just write it all down. So it's what I call a brain dump. And then you want to go through everything on that list and put it into one of 3 categories. And I like to have 3 different pieces of paper, but that's just me in the way that I do it. You might have an online system that works for you. For me, there's something that I like about the writing it out, but I always use scrap paper for these tasks. So you want to have 3 pieces of paper, scrap paper preferably, and you want to have your one of your lists as delegate. So on that list, you want to go through your brain dump and look at any of the tasks that you can delegate. Now, before anybody throws their hands up in horror and says, I don't have anybody that I can delegate to, I really challenge you to re-look at that, re-examine that belief that you're holding, because I promise you, if you go through that list, there will be somebody that can help you with something. It might be that you don't want to ask, and that's usually the underlying issue, that you don't want to, that you don't actually want to ask for help. You don't feel comfortable asking for help, or you feel that you've got to give something in return for asking for help. So if any of those are beliefs that you're carrying, that will impact on your ability to be able to see where you can delegate. So I really do encourage you to examine that thought if that's coming up for you. I don't have anybody to delegate to. So that's the first list. Who can I delegate tasks to? Then the next list is defer. So you're going through your brain dump and you're looking at what tasks can I defer to another time? Do they have to be done today? They could be done at a different time. So anything that can be deferred, put it onto the deferred list. And if you want to be super organized, put that into your diary. So if you're deferring that for next week, go and put it into the diary for next week. If you're deferring that to next month, go put that into the diary for next month. So it's actually in place, ready for you to pick up. And then the last list is the list of things that, I mean, you can head it up whatever you like, but it's the things you don't want to do, the things that you don't want to do, and actually you don't have to do. They're the things that you can let drop off the list. And that's quite a hard one, or was quite a hard one for me, because if I'd committed to doing something, or I decided that something had to be done, I found it quite hard to just kind of let it go. Because I think it would be important on some level. But I'm actually getting much better at that now, and saying, actually, what on my list, what on my brain dump could I let go? What could I let off my plate? So you want to put onto that list things that you can just let drop, just let them go. I think that list is also really important for identifying things that you don't want to do, things that aren't fun to do, things that don't spark your soul. Now, again, before you throw your hands up in the air and go, well, I've got this to do and that to do, and that doesn't spark joy. We all have things that we have to do that we don't particularly enjoy, but they need to get done. So those kind of things aside, and we can change our mindset around how we approach those tasks, but those things aside, look at anything there that's draining your energy, that really has you feeling like, don't want to do that. Those are the tasks that it's really important for you to either let go or find somebody else to do them. And if that can't happen, then it's really important at looking at how you shift your mindset around approaching those tasks. And just as a very quick example, there's an area of my work that I don't enjoy. It's an admin piece, and I don't enjoy it, and I put it off and I put it off and I put it off until I can't put it off anymore. And it's a daily thing, or a near daily thing, and I just don't enjoy the task. And I think it's for me because I enjoy my people work, my animal work, my being in contact with people. That's what I love. Being here, this is what I love. So writing things up, that's not my kind of thing. Well, it's my things, I have to do it, but it's not what sparks joy, especially if I've had a busy day and I've left it to the end of the day, which is normally what I would do, and I'm starting to feel a bit tired. So I had to really change my mindset around that, because this is a key, essential part of what I do. It's not something that I could let go. It's not something that I could delegate to somebody else. Or if I did delegate it to somebody else, I would have just as much input, making sure it was done properly and reflected what I wanted to say. So I decided that it would be easier and better if I did it. So I had to change my mindset. So I realized that what was really going on for me with that task was that in my head, it was a really big job. And I would normally have this to do maybe 3 or 4 times in the week. And in my head, it's a big job. So I started recording how much time it was taking me to do this. And in my head, it's like, oh, it'll probably be about an hour, 45 minutes to an hour to do it. And then when I actually started timing it, if I was focused and got in that place of, right, I'm going to get this done as quickly and as efficiently and as effectively as I can, and I started to time it on most occasions, 20 minutes. That's less than half the time I had in my head that this big time-consuming job was going to take. It was only taking me 20 minutes. So for the last couple of months, I've been able to say, right, okay, I can get it done in 20 minutes. It's not that big a task. And what I was able to do all of last week, which was amazing, was get the things typed up in the morning before my workday was started. And then it was great because I could clock off at 7 o'clock at night or whenever and be like, oh, I don't have to stay late and get them typed up, and I don't have to come in early tomorrow morning and get them typed up. So that's just an example of changing your mindset. So looking at your list, what can you delegate, what can you defer, and what can you absolutely get rid of? And then you're left with your core list, and then prioritize them. And then what I would also do there, Christine, Angela, and anybody else, what I would also do there is kind of group together. So you might have a timeline. If you've got a timeline, then obviously that has to go first. But I would group together the tasks that take the same kind of energy. So if you've got to phone people about certain things, then you could have all your phone call tasks together. If you've got to write things or type things up, you could have all those kind of tasks together. So I would kind of do what's called batching, task batching. And then that way you're in the one energy zone. Because if you're flitting between making a phone call, typing up something else, and you're actually flitting between lots of different energy states, and it takes approximately, I think it's 20 minutes for the body to fully adjust from one energy state to another. So try and contain all your tasks to the same or similar energy states. So that would be the next thing that I would suggest for you. And then absolutely, with no shadow of a doubt, and as I say, we'll drill down on this much deeper on Thursday, is doing your grounding work. And it might be that, like myself, you do it in the morning because that works for you and that's where you're best suited. But if you're getting derailed as the day progresses, then it's really important for you to find a point to come back into in the middle of the day to reground, reconnect, and realign. So that would be my top suggestions to you. And what I've been working with this week, and as I say, it's going to be in the newsletter, is to check back in round about lunchtime, because it's so easy to get derailed with either your priorities or other people's. And maybe that's another thing to quickly put in here as well for anybody that finds that they get derailed. Look at the tasks that are on your sheet and say to yourself, is this my priority or is it somebody else's? And you really should be looking at your priority tasks first. Naturally, if you're taking care of somebody, that's different. But if somebody else is placing demands upon your time, then you need to weigh up whether what they're asking of you is something that you can give and give easily in the time frame that they've asked for you to do that. And it's okay to say no. And if you want to do a different Facebook Live on that, I can do that. But it's okay to say no, but to be checking in with whose priority is this? Is it mine? Am I working to my priority or am I working to somebody else's priority? So it's important to check in with that. Hi, Christy. Great to see you here, and Amna as well. And Amna saying, sorry, I've got no sound. Oh, I hope everybody else can hear me, or I've been talking to myself. Christy's saying great idea. So yeah, you can hear. And Sharon's joined. Oh, the lovely Sharon. Hello, Sharon. Fab to have you here. Well, that's me done, my lovelies. I've got a client now at 1 o'clock. So she's waiting for me on the other screen. So I'm going to love you all and leave you all with those thoughts around alignment, getting back into alignment with your intention for the day. And remember, sometimes we do need to keep checking back in and realigning. That's just part of being human. Okay, take care, everyone, and I'll see you here tomorrow, same time, same place. Oh, Christine's saying I can hear you fine. Good, so glad. And I'm sorry you're having a problem with your sound, Amna, but you will be able to hear the sound on the replay. Okay, take care, everyone, and I'll see you here tomorrow. Bye.